Shalom and welcome to HomeBound Israel. My name is Ilanit Melchior and I'm the VP Business Development at the Israel Building Center. And today I have the pleasure to host to you Mr. Dror Feldman, the head of mortgage sector at Mizrahi-Tefahot. Welcome, Dror.
Hi.
So Dror, share with our listeners a little bit about your professional background at the banking system in Israel.
Hi. Well, I started working at the bank when I was still a student at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. I was learning economics and business administration. And from there on, more than 30 years, I'm in this business, helping more than 1 million people in Israel to buy their home and acquire their own dream. And from then on, I have the pleasure of helping many Israelis buy their homes and achieve their dreams.
Dror, it's not a secret that since October 7, there is winds of people asking themselves, is it the right time to invest in Israel? Usually we speak about that when there is a crisis, there is also an opportunity. So what is your overview on that?
Well, my view is the time to invest in Israel is always the time, because we are a small country, small land, and the demand for apartments is high. So the war won't change it a bit. Sometimes there is a time when there is circumstances that people decide not to buy home for a while, but in the long run, always, Israelis want apartments, they want to live in their own house. There is no, they can't just go and stay at a home, pay for it for a long time. There's no establishment for that in Israel like there is in some other countries. So home in Israel is something that everyone wants, and the demand for houses in Israel is always high. And as you said, when there is a crisis, there is opportunities, and there are a lot of places in Israel when are now, I can see now people buying houses and take their chances and invest in the real estate business.
So do you feel in the bank that now all those, Jews feeling uncomfortable outside of Israel with the spirits of anti-Semitism, is that something that you feel that there is more and more demand, or growing demand for, purchasing a house in Israel?
Yes. During the last years, and especially during the last year, we saw many Jews around the world buying houses in Israel. Everyone wants their safe haven, place they can trust that there is waiting for them if there is something that forces them to leave their home. And some of them, come here, whatever. They want to live in Israel, the Holy Land, want to enjoy the Israel as it is, and I can see both reasons and I can see both reasons as the main thing that leads people into Israel and into investing in Israel.
So the economy of the state of Israel is still strong, right?
Yeah, it's still strong in spite of the war. And although the interest rate now it's a bit high, the inflation went a little bit higher than usual, but still it's under control. Investments are coming in, and I can see that the economy is very strong, and you can see it all along the years. I mean, even the Corona time, and now the war time, every time the economy prevail, and the state of Israel stay one of the strongest countries in that aspect.
So, Dror, can you provide an overview about the current situation mortgage in Israel these days?
Yes. Well, 2022 and 2022 was the most, yes. During the years 2021 and 2022, we saw a large increase in demand for houses and, of course, for mortgages. The interest rate was low, and the prices went up, and many Israelis found themselves searching for apartments. Well, 2023 was a bit of difference because interest rate went up dramatically, and people started to sit on the fence and wondering if it's the time. But from the beginning of this year, although the war started in October, from the beginning of 2024, we see an increasing demand for houses and mortgages. And I can say that in May and June this year, 2024, the amount of loans that the people in Israel took in the total was around 8 milliard shekels, which is
tremendous amount.
It's a tremendous amount, and it's like it's like in 2022. It's we're starting to see an increasing.
It's quite surprising, I might say.
No, people in Israel started to wonder what will be in the future, and they see that the interest rate is not going down dramatically.
By the way, let's speak about the interest also in United States, because one of our leading market for immigrants to Israel is from United States. So what is the situation now there?
Well, the United States still have a high interest rate. And Israel also, it's connected. Israel, although it's a dependent state, the world influences the things that happens in Israel as well. But continuing what I said, people in Israel see the high interest rate, but they know that probably in the near future, let's say 2025, it's expected to go down. And as an investor, when you see that thing and you know that considering the demand and supply for houses in Israel, prices will probably go up.
Wow.
Yes, so as an investor, you say, okay, this is the time to go off the fence and start buying houses again. And Israelis, even not investors, the ones that want just to live in apartments, calculate themselves and see that maybe it's the right time to go back to the house market and buy apartments again.
Dror, I'm one of those people that are getting confused when someone is speaking to me about financials. So I want you to think about our customers, buyers that are from overseas, that don't know the Israeli financial system. They are being offered to take loans or mortgages from institutional banks or from elsewhere. Help them go through that process. What would be the main things that they need to take into consideration before getting into the process?
Well, first of all, go to a professional.
Okay, important, very important.
Mortgage in Israel, opposite to the way that, say, the United States, are more complicated in the way that they are built from several independent loans. In the United States, there is a loan that probably with fixed or changeable rate, and that's it. But in Israel, in order to optimize the financial arrangements, there are many kinds of products in the mortgage market, and you need to understand, the risk and the opportunities that every kind of product is about. For example, there is a fixed rate. It comes with stability, but still it's more higher in the price. There is a changeable rate. It's lower, but there are risks. You need to understand the mechanism of the way that the rate is changing and to see if it suits you and it suits your family and your expectation of your salary and the way you can deal with changes in the household environment, work, and you need to adjust the mortgage to yourself, not the other way, not yourself to the mortgage.
So if you would have to advise one of your, member of family, so what would be the critical thing that you would tell them, watch it? Before you are getting into this kind of engagement, you have to make sure that you don't do, this or that steps.
Well, the first things and the most important thing that I say to my family, to my friends, to my customers, it start with the amount that can you afford yourself to pay and take into consideration not only the short term, but also the long term.
I think that's very, very important. It's a critical thing that
It's
you're...
a critical thing. It's a critical thing. And I gave you an example. A few years ago, when the interest rate was low, people went into the prime product, which was very, very low in the rate. But they focused too much on the short term. And when the interest went up dramatically, they found themselves in a problem. They need to refinance and change, and there was a cost for that. So don't go to the short-term factors alone. It's important to combine the short-term factors with the long-term factors, and you need an expert that knows that, and they can fit and build with you the amount of payment that you can afford, even if something changes. Start a war change, the interest rate went up, or prosperity, the interest rate go down. You need to prepare for every occasion and to build a mortgage with a PTI, payment to income ratio, that fits your household, not your friend's household, your household.
So it's like a tailor-made, something that is customized to your customer.
Exactly. My point of view is that mortgage should be tailor-made and customized, and a professional banker can do that when he understands the real needs of every customer, every family. It's not the same. You need to understand how risk everyone wants to take, because there is opportunities, but there is risk. You need to understand every customer, and even if you do it the right way, you will live with the mortgage all your life without worrying. If you do it the wrong way, you might get into trouble, and you need to think ahead.
That's very important. Can you elaborate for our listeners what can be customer challenges or obstacles when they come, to take a mortgage in Israel? Also, do they need to open a bank account, or do they go to a lawyer? What should be, the first things that they have to do? We don't need to get into small details, but just to get the big pictures. Yeah.
Well, first of all, they need to have an account in Israel, because all the mortgages in Israel are charged by month, usually by month, from the bank account that is in Israel. We can't do it by connecting an account outside the country. So it's important to first of all, to have an account in Israel. And of course, you have to surround yourself with professionals, as I said, not only bankers. You need to have a lawyer that will, check the contracts of buying the house, and of course will help you. Sometimes when you're not here, you have to have an environment that allows your lawyer to take actions
on your behalf.
On your behalf, exactly. And you have to make it in advance. We as a bank try to help as much as possible to make it as smooth as possible, of course. But there are regulations, and you have to oblige to them, and you need to know them in advance, and the lawyers know that. So you need to have a good lawyer.
So you avoid mistakes.
Avoid mistakes, exactly. And of course, you have to find the right apartment, because
there's so much. There's so much offering.
There's so much. You need to understand which one is right for you.
So that brings me to the question. I'm from Jerusalem, so of course I'm biased. But Jerusalem is really the capital and the homeland of Jews around the world. And I just spoke to the mayor of Jerusalem yesterday, and there is tremendous accelerating construction and building in Jerusalem. Do you also feel that in terms of demand, or there is different community that are?
Well, Jerusalem was always a place of interest, and you're right. I can see it all the time, but I can see it these days even more than in the past. There is a huge development in Jerusalem. Buildings are going up, and people are getting more and more focused on buying houses there. Not only because it's the Holy Land and the Holy City, but because there is a very good environment, very good new buildings, new surroundings. And yes, you're right, I can see it happening, and I can see it this year even more than before.
Last question. I always believe that people are making businesses with people. So let's speak about, values. So you have such an experience as a banker. And so what are the core values that, when one is coming to make such an important deal in his life from overseas, far away, what do you believe that are important things to look when you're, choosing how to navigate your way here?
Wow, it's a very important question, because I always say that buying a house usually is the most important, certainly financial decision that a family do in their lifetime. And they come to it when they are scared, they are not sure about it, sometimes confused. And it doesn't matter what you learned in university, it could be whatever. Everyone needs to address a new issue. And this is the point, but professionalism is most important. And I will say a few things about that. It's not only knowing the right financial. You need to look the people in the eye to explain to them in their own words what is expected, what is the advantages and disadvantages. You have to be very reliable. You have to be very personal. You need to understand the people and know their fear and their worries and give them the right answer, lead them in the safe way that are suitable for them. As I mentioned before, there's no two mortgages that are exactly the same. You need to see the person, to understand their needs, and to build it in a very, very, as we said earlier, tailor-made, when they are understanding what they're doing, what the future will be, and they will not be surprised when things changes. And even when things changes, for example, the rate changes, there are way that the mortgage was built, as I mentioned, from several parts. There will be enough stability for them to continue their lives without having any problems dealing with the mortgage. If this is a very important thing, and so you have to be reliable, look the people in the eye, understand their needs, and tailor-made their mortgage for them.
I think that what I'm taking from you is that reliability, trust, and service. I think this is something very, very important, especially for people who are coming from overseas. Anything else you would like to share with us before we are finishing?
You mentioned service. For us as a bank, it is one of the most important things, because we try to do the utmost in order to serve our customers in a personal way, and giving them several ways to contact us, whether is it in the digital or the personal. And for a foreigner, it's more important, because he can't be here all the time, and he needs to be able to speak, see, understand. And for us, it's a challenge that we are proud that we are able to provide our customers overseas with the ability to contact us whenever they need it, and to speak with a professional and a personal banker all the way from start to end. This is a very important thing, and I think it makes the customer more convinced that he choose the right bank and the right way to buy the house. And I
think that happy customer would also always bring his families and friends, and it's an ongoing relationship. I want to say thank you, Dror, for sharing with us all the information. It was very, very important to our listeners. And I'm sure there will be questions that we might refer to you in the future. So thank you so much. And we're looking forward to host you in our next HomeBound Israel episode.
Well, it's been an honor for me to be here. I really believe that Israel is the place for buying houses, and I think there is opportunities all the time, and we are here to provide the best service and the best advice to all your customers.
That is so important. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you.